Right then, gather round, it's time to meet the dream team. This is Bailey Dog, Head of Security, QC, Chief Biscuit Inspector, proud holder of 100% record attendance on all my projects. And the other one, my son, who has a vested interest in this project. Yep, I said it and I'm not apologising. This shed is going to be his pride and joy, mainly because it's going to store all his building gear just behind the garage here in sunny Wiltshire. Now here's the twist. This entire project is going to cost absolutely nothing. Not a thing. Not even a cheeky penny. Everything you see will be recycled, reclaimed, reused. Reclaimed from the brink of being chucked in the skip. Same idea as the wood store at the bottom of my garden I built last year, with slightly more ambition and less planning. Now we kick things off by plonking the plywood floor roughly where the shed's going to live. Perfect spot, just behind the back door of the garage. It's a double garage, by the way. One side is my workshop. The other side is what could be best described as the museum of this stuff might come in handy at some stage. Next up, 4 bright yellow pallets. Now these beauties came from a mate of mine who runs a flooring company. I do try and get matching pallets when I'm building a project, and not all of them are perfect. One of these is missing a few slats, asset strip for a previous project. Not to worry, we don't need them, and in future you should actually strip all the assets because it will reduce the weight. They're basically just here to exist structurally. Now a couple of them need nails removing. Daniel bashes them with a DeWalt angle grinder because he likes the power. We chuck in some battens across the 2 middle pallets to beef them up into one solid base. I say we, what I mean is I do all the work while he supervises from a safe distance. Now at this stage it's important to clad the back before this turns into a heavy monster. The cladding is tongue and groove. It's already treated and water resistant, proper posh stuff. Came from a company that builds fancy garden offices and sheds for the price of a lengthy family overseas holiday. 20-30 grand, that kind of fee. The offcuts usually go straight into a giant skip, cost them an absolute fortune. I turned up on a hot day with a round of ice creams and somehow left with a driveway full of timber. Now, I'm still calling that free, even if the purest amongst you are typing on your keyboards as I continue to speak. We screw the tongue and groove boards in one by one. Then out comes the spirit level, doubling up as a sort of budget track saw. I think most people call it a poor man's track saw. It's not pretty, but it gets the job done. Mostly straight-ish. Then, a sudden bolt of genius, or panic. I realise I actually want this shed to be waterproof. Bit of an oversight really, but I had kept some plastic in the garage, in the museum. Which means yes, we have to take the cladding off again. Flip the whole things over, add the plastic and then put it back. That is efficiency at its finest. Now, ideally, you'd use a breathable membrane here. Very professional, very proper, very pricey. I couldn't find any for free, which completely ruins the theme of this project. So instead, we use a sheet of plastic that once protected a mattress that we bought about a year ago. It's been living in the garage ever since, waiting for its big moment. And here it comes. Today is that moment. We take the plywood floor, we flip it over, and we attach it to the tongue and groove clad pallet structure upside down. We then flip it back over and arrange the pallets how we think it's going to look at the end. Now, it's starting to take shape, isn't it? It's starting to look like it could be a decent structure. And of course, it's still free. Now, the next issue. The spray painted backboard, which is an advertising hoarding for an event, is bigger than the gap we built it for. Classic. Absolute classic. My son, quite understandably, for sentimental reasons, refuses to cut it down. Apparently that would ruin it. So, what's the solution? Simple. We pack everything into the half-built shed, throw a tarp over it like we know what we're doing, call it a day. We'll come back tomorrow. Or as I prefer to call it, Chapter 2. See you in the next one.
Lovely. Hope you've enjoyed. See you again.